Morning.
Morning.
Good morning. What's the background looking like?
Red.
Yeah.
So I'll fire away. So Mark, it's the FA Cup. Do you sort of welcome perhaps a little bit of a break from the league and starting the FA Cup campaign?
I think we've been in good form, and we've had a lot of games in quick succession. We've had a little bit more of a gap between these games, but obviously you've got an accumulation of fatigue and what have you. And I know there's a lot of talk about players and tiredness or fatigue, and sort of people raising eyebrows, but they put an unbelievable amount of effort into those games, and the body doesn't recover that quickly. And if you keep going at that level, it takes your body time a little bit longer to recover each time. So you're always at risk of injury. So they've done brilliantly to get through that period. And obviously we've had that little bit extra. We had a couple of days off after the game on Monday, and came back in yesterday. So we're just working into the game. So to answer your question, the FA Cup's different. It's always different. This club's had a win in 1987. It's a long time ago, but everybody remembers it. Every Coventry City supporter remembers it, who was around at that time, and even the ones that weren't around have seen it and looked at it. And obviously that has been a landmark time for this football club, and it was one of the greatest days in the club's history, I think. And that was obviously masterminded by John and George and all those players, and we speak about them regularly, about how they've stayed together, and the camaraderie and the team bond that exists and still exists between those players. I think is testament to that group, to John, to George, and all the supporters. I think it's always a special competition. We say it every year, and last year was particularly a disappointing result for us against Wrexham, and we want to try and better that certainly tomorrow.
Morning, Louis.
Morning, you alright?
It was unfortunate circumstances for Liam, but to get in the team and play a game last week must have been good for you.
Yeah, obviously it was a while since the last one, so it was on my mind that I wanted to obviously get back in the team and play games. And I spoke to the manager and said I want to play games and everything, and he said, yeah, you've got to bide your time, like he said at the start of the season. So the time come, and obviously I played against Swansea.
Haji Wright, how's he after his knock?
He's okay. He's just had a feeling of some pain in his adductor, but he's okay. He's obviously like we speak about the games that we've had, the accumulation of all that stuff. It can sort of make people feel a little bit tired. The fatigue plays a part, and but he's okay. He's been offloaded this week after the game on Monday, but he's definitely in good spirits.
And the FA Cup now, have you had much experience with the FA Cup?
No, never played in it. Obviously, growing up as a kid, you always watch it. I was always going down Gillingham if they got a big tie or away from home. I was always following them, so I know it's a massive competition with a lot of history. So I'm excited to hopefully play in it.
Yeah, and obviously this club has got history in the FA Cup, but so Tottenham as well. So you're sort of aware of that, I guess.
Yeah, no, I was always going to the finals when they played at Wembley when I was in there years ago now. But yeah, no, I'm excited.
And the inevitable question over the next few weeks, January window is open. Any sign of any activity in either direction?
Yes, this is... Yasin has been recalled by Brighton. Brighton are looking, I think they're recalling quite a few players, but Yasin's left. He trained yesterday and left after training. Wished him all the best. So that's happened. Other than that, we are at the status quo. I think he's a really good player. I think he's been a little bit unfortunate. I think that he'd started off quite brightly, impact substitute. He made some really good decisions on the ball. He created some openings for others. There's one that sticks out against Sunderland at home where he created a chance for Haji. Keeper made a really good save from that. He's been unlucky with one or two of his efforts. He scored a goal that came off the bar and he reacted brilliantly and put that in. I think it was Huddersfield. But he's been a little bit unlucky. We'd not got a, in terms of results, the results whilst he was playing weren't at the level we needed them to be or wanted them to be. We changed things, the shape changed, we started picking up more points, and then it became a little bit more difficult. And as time goes on for a young player, it becomes difficult because you expect a certain level of minutes when you come to a club, whether you come and you think, I'm going to play every game. That may be the case, but it may not be as well, and it depends how you react mentally to that. And I think he found it difficult not playing all the time, and certainly being left because he hasn't played in the last 5. So, and then I feel a weight of responsibility as well because these players are here to develop, and you can't develop unless you play in some game. I think I'm right in saying that the last time he played was Ipswich, and he came off at half time, but that isn't necessarily to do with him. That's not him. He's a really good player. He's going to be a really, really good player. And I, wished him all the best yesterday. I wish him all the best now. And we're here for him if he needs anything moving forward. And I'm sure he's going to be really well looked after at Brighton. And I'm sure he'll be moving somewhere else this window to play some games. So we'll come across, our paths will cross again.